is to build a story into your pitch. You know, what illustrates what you do? What gives a good example of where you're coming from and what you're doing with it? And have a call to action. That's the one thing I would say you were missing there, Thomas. What's the call to action? You told me what you do, but what do you want me to do? Right? So if I'm giving my elevator speech, hi, I'm Dan McElroy. I'm founder and president of Pro AdSpec. We are a promotional marketing company working with clients across the country to provide them with quality branded materials that move their marketing from point A to point B. If you find your marketing being stagnant, I want to have a conversation. That's it. That's all there is. What I'm trying to do is get you to talk to me, right? I'm giving you an idea of what I do, and I'm trying to get you to talk to me. I don't build a story into that unless I have a very specific audience that I want to bring a very specific point. I can pull stories from 35 years of experience, so that's an easy one for me. But you also want to add a tagline, and I didn't do at that point. And my tagline is promotional marketing works. It's very simple, very direct. Go from there. All right, so that's all I got for you guys this morning. That's the end of my thing. I'm looking for questions. Susan.
So we just heard from the Myers on what they're doing and what their market is. Can you give us some examples of some items that would not be a benefit to their company?
It would not be a benefit of their company? Huh, okay, my head goes to what would be.
I know. I'm gonna twist it.
All right, so clothing would be, kitchen items would be, travel items would be, garden items. Something for gardening and tools. How would you tie that in? Unless you're doing a travel to that specific audience, I wouldn't see that being. You can tie car stuff into it because you're traveling by car to get wherever you're going. Travel, maybe. That's a stretch a little bit in my mind, but the easy target audience is, you know, luggage tags and travel pillows and headrests and eye covers for when you're on an airplane, and what do you do when you're on a cruise ship? And I mean, there's all those kind of things that go along. Bags are going to be real easy. You know, luggage is going to be really, I mean, those kind of things fit into that audience very easily.
I'll tell you, I took a sandals vacation, my first vacation that I'd ever taken in my life, and this was probably 20 years ago now. And I come home from work one day, and there's a set of 3 pieces of luggage with sandals on them. I still have that luggage.
Absolutely.
And I use it.
And you didn't expect it either.
I've ever been on. It's easy to identify. It comes off the belt line with sandals on it.
Sure.
In pink letters. Nobody else has that. Yeah.
Especially no Marine.
It probably cost $150. I don't know how thin your margins are, but you know, $150, $200 for a 3-piece set of luggage.
Well, think about if you're at a trade show and you're an exhibitor, right? You're there to gather prospects. I mean, that's what you're there for, right? Yes, sir.
So when you're talking about like an elevator speech and stuff like that, sometimes I think people speak too much. Like I lose them after like maybe 30 seconds.
Yep, it should stop at 30 seconds.
Yeah,
as you know, that quick introduction, especially in a networking event. Yeah,
I was going to ask you, what do you think like the max time limit on that?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Because that's exactly what happens. You go on and on and on. People are like,
What do you do already?
The concept of elevator speech is you have 10 seconds. You have 15 seconds in an elevator that you're in a 6x6 space. What can I get out? I'm Nikki Teese. I'm the director of communications for the Wisconsin Veteran Chamber of Commerce. We are a chamber that looks at the economic development of Wisconsin through the veteran lens. You know, connect with us. Become a member. You have 10 seconds before they get off on the 2nd floor and you're going to the 4th. But also, everybody in that elevator heard you. Not just Susan, who I was directly speaking to. That's the concept.
What about adding something like, are you one of the 13 million vets in this country?
Yeah.
Or do you know one?
Straight off the cuff, a question. That's brilliant.
right.
Thank you.
So
Brilliant, yeah, I love it.
30 seconds. 10 seconds to introduce yourself. 15 seconds to say what you do. 5 seconds to tagline a question. That's what you focus on. Mitch?
We have a phrase that I think is the best you could have for, I run into you, I don't know who you are, what's your dream vacation?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Great day.
We hit them with, what's your dream vacation and it gets them to talking right away.
Right, it's a call to action and it's a question. You know, it leads them right into what you do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, your dream vacation is to go on a cruise to the Caribbean? We should talk. You know, can I have a few more minutes of your conversation? Sure.
That you first?
Sure. Just, can you give us like a recent like success story that stands out for you with some of your promotional products or ideas?
In terms of finding some, I mean, all right, I'll go to.
Give me any recent job or.
Had a client, had a gal that I talked to on an online networking event. I said, oh, it's really nice. I've got somebody here in the Chicago area that has done some promotional marketing for us. And there's something I'm looking for an event coming up in 15 days. But she said she couldn't get it for me. I said, oh, what was it? She told me what it was. And I went, she couldn't get it for you? She said, no. I said, give me 5 minutes. I will look and see. I know exactly where that product is coming from. You call that manufacturer and find out why they couldn't get it to you. So, got off that call, called the manufacturer, checked to make sure it was in inventory. Yes, it was. Great, I got a client looking for 100 pieces. I get you an order this afternoon. Can we deliver it by X date? I'm like, yeah, we're working on 5 days. We're fine.
What kind of product was it?
You make something up, we won't know.
Yeah, I know. I don't like to do that. It was a mug product, like ceramic mug product, that had a 4-color imprint on it. So I knew somebody that could do a small quantity and could get it out the door, right? And that just comes down to, and to me it's secondhand, and I just jump into it. I've done it long enough. I've had so many people say to me, you ought to be coaching other distributors because you have all this information and you should be passing that on. I was like, well, I do pass it on, but I don't do it officially. But yeah, I mean, those are the kind of things that I try and make happen every time I can. And the good news is if I can't, I'm going to be upfront with you and say, I'm sorry, I just can't do that. I can't make that happen. Sure.
Do you have a challenge coin manufacturer?
I do.
Veteran.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you a veteran?
I am not. My father is. My father-in-law is. What got me involved with the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber, in front of you, you'll see a microfiber cloth that describes the program we just completed in Sun Prairie, where we honored our local veterans.
They're wonderful.
Thank you. By creating personalized street banners that the city of Sun Prairie hung up for us in August. And they're in the process of taking them down this week and replacing them with their Christmas banners. But I am looking to expand that program. That's what brought me to the Vet Chamber to start with, into the Milwaukee event to show people what that product is. So if you know of any other chambers or other communities that would look to expand on that program, that would be a wonderful referral for me.
Did you do the ones in Cuba City?
We did not.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Fitchburg has expressed some interest. Memorial Day and Veterans Day are the two obvious, times to put those type of banners up. So we're looking to build on that program. And I'll be honest, it's not my idea. I got it from a colleague who does it in Ohio. We were talking in a discussion group, and I'm like, I love that idea because my dad's a vet and my father-in-law is a vet, and the picture of the banner on that is my father-in-law.
Yeah, these are, I gotta say, I travel up to Ashland County, way up in the woods, and
Yep.
towns of 500 to 1,000, almost every single town
And do
has
those.
something along these lines.
Yeah.
All over
Yeah.
the Midwest. So
Good.
it was nice to see them in my town.
Other questions or comments?
So what you do is company wants to use you for promotional products, they send you their business logo and you find a company that will private label that? They'll put the logo on.
Yeah, we can absolutely put a logo on anything. I just need a clean art file. Or I can take a JPEG file and convert it to a clean art file. But yeah, absolutely. The majority of our work involves a logo, not just a company name. Do I do all of the production myself? No. Do I do any of the production myself? No. I source it all. I'll be straight up and honest with you. That is not. I looked at it. I looked at doing. Do I want to do screen printing? Do I want to do embroidery? Do I want to do whatever? Like, yeah, no, it's not where I want to spend my time. I like helping people, but my resources are nationwide to find directly to those manufacturers and get
Well,
those
different
products.
companies like that, don't they require different things on their logos?
I'm sorry. Don't they require?
Well, like I work for Mueller and we do private label tape and there, you have to have certain, like the address and the phone number, so do you know, never mind.
We know the specs of what needs to be done.
I mean, for each individual business or how they.
For each individual business, I'll find out. I mean, if it's somebody new, I will find out what the requirements are for their logo. Can I change positioning of wording to make it fit better? Or do your brand specs say, no, we can't do that? You know, can we print it one color versus two color versus four color? I mean, all of that is my fact-finding job as to what I'm allowed to manipulate your logo at all, if at all. But then that all goes into a file for me, so I know next time, okay, you know I can't take the Mueller logo and I can't make it more horizontal than vertical as it's laid out. So I got to be thinking about products where a vertical logo is going to fit on and not a horizontal logo. All part of the process. To me, that's all second nature, unfortunately.
Can you think of one of the most creative employee gifts that a corporation has requested from you? Was there something that stands out? Or that you found for them? Let me put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things we're seeing right now that we've done for mainly new employees is kind of a welcome kit. Where it's in a custom box. It's a logoed shirt that is to their size, maybe a fleece blanket to take home, and a tumbler so they've got it, and it's all packaged in a very nice orientation box, with the foam insides and that type of thing. That's not an inexpensive way to go about it, but it certainly, as a new employee, when you're sitting there and I'm going, welcome, and here, welcome to, and you put that box in front of somebody, and they're like, wow, this company cares about me. At least out of the gate they're doing that. So that type of thing is certainly, we're seeing a lot more of that.
On that note, it might be interesting if you came up with a model box for that service member who's being activated, like a care package for
Sure.
either the activating member or the family that they're leaving behind.
Right.
It might be something that corporations would be interested in as a retention effort.
Right. Yeah, something like that would be easy to put together. It's a matter of specifically to what that business might want.
Yeah.
To remind family of where their loved one is, or loved one or family coming back.
Yeah.
Other questions? Thank you. Appreciate the time this morning, folks.
Thank you.